A Jewish name is a very powerful thing. A Jewish name is not only a word that distinguishes one person from another, but a Jewish name represents the combination of life force that the soul gives to the body as it enters into the body. Therefore, we are told that the name that a child is given at birth through the father and the mother is really based on nevuah. It is based on prophecy, and that is why other family members should not butt in to the decision that the parents are making when they choose a name. No doubt that relatives could inspire the parents, they could encourage the parents to make a certain name, but ultimately it is the choice of the parents because they are given the nevuah, they are given the prophecy to be able to give the child the right name based on the combination of life force of how the soul enters into the body. One of the famous biblical names that we find in the Torah, the very first name given to a woman is the name Chava. This was the wife of Adam. And why was Chava given this name? As you know, every name is not simply a word, but rather it has tremendous layers of meaning and understanding. Says the Torah that Chava means Eim Kol Chai, the mother of all life. Rabbeinu Bechaya, a famous commentator on the Torah, says that the word Chava means one who speaks, a midaberes. And from here we see that every single woman was given the power to talk, the power of speech. As the Gemara tells us in the Tractate of Brachis, page 48, side B. However, we find that the Alter Rebbe says in the Torah Or that the name Chava represents the concept of Gilui. Chava is the power to reveal by telling. And he begins by saying, if Chava means Eim Kol Chai, if Chava means the mother of all life, why does he call her Chava, not Chaya? Chaya means the mother of all life. Therefore, we must say that there's a deeper meaning to the word Chava. And what does Chava mean? Chava means to reveal. How do we see this? We see this on the interpretation of the Targum of Onkelos, on the words Vayaged, that Joseph told his brothers the dreams that he had. You don't know what your neighbor is dreaming. The only way I know what you're dreaming is if you tell me. And therefore, through telling me, you are revealing the secret of the dream. And therefore, V'chavei is the Targum, the Aramaic of the word Vayaged is V'chavi. In other words, Chava means to reveal secrets, the unknown teachings and the unknown secrets and the mysteries of the universe. And that is also the meaning of Haggadah. We read the Haggadah on Pesach. The Haggadah means to reveal and to bring down all the secrets that happened in the Exodus and to make it known to the entire world. So therefore, as we stated earlier, she is called Chava. The first woman is called Chava because she is Eim Kol Chai, because she is the mother of all life. She becomes the mother of all life when she has the child in her womb. However, when the child comes out of her womb, now she becomes Chava, because she reveals the secret that was in her womb. And therefore we are told that Adam and Chava, Adam and Eve, the first man and woman in creation, represent the concept of Torah Shebiksav and Torah Shebal Peh, the written Torah and the oral Torah. Adam represents the written Torah, and Chava represents the oral Torah. Why is that so? Because Adam represents the giving of the seminal drop, the concept. The written Torah, the 5 books of Moses, are many concepts. What takes the concept and reveals the concept and elaborates on the concept? That is Torah Shebal Peh, the oral Torah. Chava takes the seminal drop of Adam and elaborates 9 months on that drop. And because of that, she becomes the mother of life. She brings the Torah to life. To simply read one verse of the Torah, many times it's very difficult to comprehend. However, we need the Talmud, we need the oral law to expound on that one verse of the Torah. Kabbalistically, the gematria of Chava is 19. Ches is 8, Vav is 6, Hey is 5. What is 19? Says the Alter Rebbe, and this is also brought down in Kisvei Arizal, that 19 is the milui of Shem Havaya. Now what does that mean? God's name, the Tetragrammaton, which is the Yud and the Hey and the Vav and the Hey, equals 26. However, if you spell out God's name, the Yud, Yud, Vav, Dalet, and Hey, Hey, Aleph, and Vav, Vav, Aleph, Vav, and the Hey, Hey, Aleph, these additional letters, which are called the fillers of the 4 letters of God's name, the milui equals 19. Chava is the milui of Shem Havaya. Chava, which is 19, is the filler of God's name. In other words, her job, and in truth the job of every woman in creation, is to reveal the hidden secrets of creation. What are the hidden secrets of creation? That is Shem Havaya, that is the name of God. God created the world, but when you look around, do you see God? You see wood, you see grass, you see tables, you see chairs, you see cars, you see buildings. You don't see God. The job of every woman is to reveal godliness in the world. And similarly, the job of every wife and the job of every mother and the job of every woman is to reveal the potential in her spouse, the potential in her brothers, in her father, in her children. This is the great power that God endowed every woman with, starting with Chava, who is the mother of all life. Furthermore, the fact that we say that Yutes, which is 19, is the gematria of Chava, and 19 together with 26, which is the name of God, equals 45. 45 is known as Shema, but also 45 is the gematria of the word Adam. Adam, man, was the first person to be created, and God called him Adam. Why Adam? Adam el-Elyon, because he was made in the image of God. Adam is incomplete without Chava. He's not 45 without Chava. He needs Chava, which is 19, to make him complete. And the same is true with every man. In the world, every masculine aspect needs the feminine aspect and the feminine mystique to become complete. And we find that the Alter Rebbe says this in the Siddur, that the main part of Adam, which is Shema, the name of Ma, the name of 45, is only based on the fact that we have the feminine quality. If not for the feminine quality, he would no longer be called Adam, and no longer would there be the quality of Shema. And furthermore, we know that the woman is not only equal to the man, but on the contrary, it becomes Ateres Baila, the woman of valor becomes the crown of her husband. So this is the basic meaning of the name Chava. I would like to take it on 2 more levels, and that is to express the concept in each one of the letters of Chava, Ches, Vav, and Hey, and also talk about the pasuk of Chava. And that is, in Jewish literature, we are told that every person has their pasuk. They have their passage in the Torah. And this is normally recited 3 times a day before we go back, Ois Shalom, at the end of the Amidah. And the reason of this pasuk is, it says in Kabbalah that after a person passes away from this world and is found in their grave, and the angel now brings their soul up to heaven, the angel asks the soul, what's your name? And because of the fright of the moment, perhaps you could forget your name. Because of this, each person recites their pasuk, And the pasuk starts off with the first letter of their name and ends with the last letter of their name. And this pasuk is a segula, is a good omen not to forget your name. So let's start with the letters of Chava and then the pasuk for Chava. So Chava is made up of 3 letters: Ches, Vav, and Hey. The letter Ches, being the first letter of the word, represents the entire word. It's the most powerful of the letters. So Chava represents, the Ches represents Chava. As the pasuk says, V'layla l'layla yichavedas, and every night one will express their knowledge, alluding to the Torah Sheba'al Peh, which is the oral Torah. This is the concept of the letter Ches. It is the idea of yichavedas. How does Chava bring about and reveal this concept of the oral law and reveal the concept of godliness to the world? That is through the Vav and the Hey. The Vav alludes to Torah, according to Kabbalah, and the Hey alludes to creation, as it says in Kabbalah that God created the world through the letter Hey. So in other words, we start with the Ches. The Ches means to reveal godliness. How does one reveal godliness? Through the Vav and the Hey, through teaching Torah, and through pointing out God in creation, which is based on the concept of Hashgacha Pratis, that everything is by divine design. Everything is because of God. Nothing happens in the world by itself. And therefore, when a person has the ability to explain and point out every detail of creation, how everything is connected with God and nothing happens without God, then you have the idea of Chava, then one is able to reveal godliness in the world. And this concept is underscored and highlighted by the pasuk of Chava. What is the pasuk of Chava? It's found in Tehillim, chapter 37, verse number 15. It says over there, Charbam tovoi belibam, v'kashtesam tishavarna. It says that their swords shall go into their hearts, and their arrows shall be broken. Seemingly, this seems to be a very gory pasuk. Why would we say such a pasuk for Chava? But if you look into the pasuk a bit deeper, based on Hasidic literature and Jewish mysticism, the idea of a sword and the idea of the bow and arrow represents prayer and beseeching God. And that is, we are saying here that Charbam tovei belibam, that their sword should go into their heart. The sword are the words of prayer. Sometimes we just simply give words that have no meaning, lip service. However, the prayer is that the actual words of the prayer should enter into their hearts and inspire them. And by doing so, v'kashtesam tishavarna, by doing so, their arrows and their bows will be broken. This represents the klipa, the powers of impurity, that through the fact that a person will pray with words of warmth and meaning and connection to God, he will have the ability to break all the negative influences of the outside world that hold him back from seeing godliness in everything that he does. So Chava represents the complete virtual reality of bringing God down into the world. How is that? Through the study of Torah and by the teaching of divine providence. How does one have the ability to connect Torah, which is above creation, and connect it to creation, the Vav to the Hey? That is through the pasuk of prayer, representing prayer. Through prayer, a person has the ability to take the knowledge of the Torah and to apply it to the everyday world. And just to end with one disclaimer, and that is, why would anyone want to name their child Chava? You can say that Chava brought death to the world. Chava was the one that caused Adam to sin in the Garden of Eden. She was the first one that ate from the forbidden fruit. Why would you want to call someone Chava? And the answer is, the Medrash tells us that the reason why Chava sinned was because God did not tell her directly the command not to eat from the fruit. God gave it over to Adam. God gave it over to a man. And we know men have problem communicating. They can't give over the idea. What they heard, they farmish the message. And therefore, till it got down to Chava, they were playing telephone. It was very difficult for Chava to understand exactly what God wanted. And therefore, we find in the Medrash that it says, when it came to the giving of the Torah, God corrected this concept, and he first spoke to the women, and then he spoke to the men. Furthermore, we are told in the Medrash that if God would have spoken to Chava at the same time when he spoke to Adam in the Garden of Eden, not only would Chava never have sinned with the forbidden fruit, but Chava would have had the strength to hold back Adam from also sinning with the forbidden fruit. So this is the name of Chava, which was created, a woman that was created by God himself. God built Chava with his own hands. Therefore, Chava was considered to be one of the greatest women in history. And furthermore, her intellect was greater than the intellect of the angels, of the supernal angels, and greater than Solomon, because we know that Chava and Adam were really one being. And it states clearly that the knowledge of Adam was greater than that of King Solomon and greater than that of the supernal angels. And therefore, obviously, this also applies to Chava. So therefore, we have over here the knowledge of Chava and the concept of the oral law of Chava and the ability to reveal the potential in everything from God to the humankind. And we hope and pray that we will use Chava as a super hero and a role model to inspire us to do more and to make the world a better place, and to return all of mankind back to the Garden of Eden with the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days.